To speak to a Christian musician who I believe is born again, but he's mentally confused about some of his ideas. I was so happy when I found out he was baptized in the Jordan River around, I forget the year. Maybe it was 2002, something like that. One of the top 5 metal bands of the new metal Ozfest crowd. And this guitarist got born again, and it was awesome. I had 3 posters in my room in high school. One of them was Nirvana, one of them was Deftones, and the other one was this band. Of course, I've I don't I do not agree with some Christians who reject all rock music and only listen to Keith Green and hymns. I don't. I'm somewhere in the middle of that. I believe that all music should be judged on a lyrical basis, not on a song by song basis. That aside, okay. I cut out my dad showed me a picture of this guitarist getting baptized in the Jordan River. I used to scream Soulfly songs all the time on my guitar in my room after I got home from school. I would lock myself in my room and then I would create my own songs and I would record it on my 4-track. I think it was a Tasco. Yep, Tasco 4-track cassette. Okay, this was so awesome. So it was highly visible, and he ended up leaving this high-profile metal band, which was filled with F words and sexual themes. And he got so much, I mean, it was a huge thing to me. I cut out the newspaper clipping and taped his baptism. I taped it to my mirror. I had a picture of him being baptized in a Jesus robe in the Jordan River, and I taped it to my mirror. And I saw that there until I graduated and left for college. It was a feature. It was a feature in my room. It was so encouraging. But somewhere along the way, seeker-sensitive pastors talked him, and Michael W. Smith talked him into going right back into the secular metal band to do friendship evangelism. And he believed them. He believed that God wanted him to do that. And I was like, no, dude. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, James chapter 4, read it. I won't quote it. You just go ahead, read it, because I know you're listening to me, man. If you think that look, nobody's perfect. I'm not Jesus Christ. But if you think that there's anything that I've said is from the Holy Spirit, then consider this. Those guys were wrong who told you that. You should not have gone back to that group. You should not have gone back to them. And you might say, well, God used me. God used me there, and I've made an impact. I would say this to you. You probably could have made the same impact on your friends, on your buddies' lives, even if you had still not gone back into the group. You might have even made a stronger impact. And you know what I believe? B? I'll call you B. I believe God has called you to be an itinerant evangelist. And it was just a hard thing to figure out because there was no one to affirm that. And I also believe that you have friends that are in the Pentecostal space that are compromisers and they don't preach Wesleyanism and they don't preach holiness because they're also intellectually confused. I'm charismatic. There's my vouchers. But brother, if you feel like I'm nailing it in any spots, I just want to say this. I look up to you. I'm 10 years younger than you, but I do not agree with you coming back to the group. I believe that there's always a way. God's a waymaker. And if we follow the Bible and we follow the Holy Spirit and we mix them together, we're going to get the answer eventually. It always doesn't present itself. When there's temptation, God always provides a way of escape. Always provides a way of escape. And, with your kind of visibility, it would be super easy for you to start an itinerant evangelism ministry. Totally easy to do that. All you got to do is ask around, ask the right people, build your YouTube platform more, build a blog website, ask other itinerant evangelists, how do you do this? How do you make this happen? You could fill stadiums. You could fill stadiums with the level of popularity that you have. You could fill stadiums Billy Graham level if you would just leave the group, if you would just leave this music group and start an itinerant evangelism. You could. I believe that. I believe that. And also, you need to read Leonard Ravenhill books and learn how to preach against sin. And you need to not criticize that, because that's from the Lord. You got to learn how to do it properly. It takes time. And don't listen to people who make that compromise. I don't care if they got tats. I don't care if they got tats. If they're compromisers, you know what compromisers look like. I don't want to be your friend, you should say. I don't want to be friends with you if you're not going to encourage people to turn or burn.